What's up guys, Fred here, and today I'm gonna show you how I can easily create this kind of liquid text effect. And let's get started. So first of all, let's go to Photoshop and press create new. So we have to create a new project, of course. And width and height doesn't really matter, but make sure it's like 1000 and 1000 for example. And then also make sure this is pixel selected here, resolution is 300, make sure artboard is not selected, and color mode is RGB color. And if everything is fine, let's just press create. So what we actually need to do here, first of all, let's go and we need to select actually a proper image. Let me show you what I mean by that. So for example, this image would be really good if you use it. So you need some kind of colorful image that also needs to be bright and colorful, and you will understand why in a moment. So let's just press OK. You can find this image on unsplash.com. So for example, if you go to unsplash.com and then you type there, for example, painting or something like that, then you'll be able to find this kind of images, because here are like thousands of free images that you can use. Anyway, so now when we have done that, let's go and delete this background layer because we don't need it. So the first thing we need to do here is to create a new empty layer. Just press here to create a new empty layer. Then we need to go here and select hue saturation. So make sure saturation is on maximum, and hue is just, just make it a little bit left. Doesn't really matter that much if it's the exact number or not. Let's go back to layers and let's now just select our empty layer. So now when we have done that, let's go here, press right, and make sure you select here mixer brush tool. Okay, that's the tool that we're going to use to create this colorful and amazing effect. So when you have chosen this mixer brush tool, make sure here sample layers is selected. Make sure this is 100, this is 100, this is 100, this is 100. So basically everything is 100. Make sure both of these are selected, so it should be like this. Okay. Also press here and make sure this is not checked, because usually this is checked. So usually it's like this. Make sure you press on so it's not checked. That's very important, guys. So now most likely you're going to have here this kind of circle, so basically circle brush, but we actually need a different type of brush. So let's go now here to brush settings, and if you don't have this panel here, you can just go to window and find brush settings here. Okay, so if you just press it, you'll open this brush settings, and now you can just select this brush. This brush, like usually like all Photoshops as standard, have this brush as well. So just select it and go to spacing, make this 1%. I'm sorry guys. Okay, so now what is basically spacing? If we make it more, see what happens. There's more distance between brushes. If you make it 1%, it's going to be smoother. So now when you have done all of this, okay, this is very important in order to have the exact same effect as I have on my image. Let's close this. Let's now open layers and select our empty layer. Now if I start drawing, just make your brush a little bit bigger. Now if I see what happens. When I start drawing, actually I start getting this colorful lines basically. Let's make my brush even bigger. Yeah, this is much better. So why does this, or how does this even happen? I guess that's the main question that you probably have. So the thing here is that because we have here this hue saturation, this mixer brush tool actually mixes the hue saturation effect with the image below, and when it mixes the two layers, hue saturation and this image, then it starts creating this kind of colors. And that's why we're drawing on an empty layer, so we can get these colors. And you can just draw, and as you can see, it looks pretty cool, right? So like this, and you can also try different other images. For example, now I can turn off this image, and when I turn off the image, I get only this thing, and that's actually what we need right now. So now when you have it, you can just press again to color mode, so it looks smoother. Perfect. Now when you have it, we need to create actually the text itself. So first of all, let's go and turn off this hue saturation because we don't really need it and anymore. I mean, now let's go to text and let's just press, and for example type here hello. Yeah, why not just type hello, press OK. So now let's choose our first move tool and bring this a little bit left, so it's located just above this line, this object here. Now when we have it, what we actually need to do? So press right on this text, so not on the layer, not on this, but here exactly on this T letter. Press right and choose your select pixels. When you do that, it's going to select the text. Okay, that's very important. Now turn off your text, and now you have only the selection left. When you have only the selection left, go to here, and then you can press this option here. So make sure you have selected the colors, basically this color for object. And when you have selected it, press here to create the mask. And now we have here this kind of interesting texture basically applied to this text. So what we need to do next? Okay, so we did this thing, and now we need to create this kind of, you see, drops here, these glitchy drops. How we are going to do that? Make sure you select your layer, go here, press right, and choose smudge tool. So smudge tool actually helps us, and also as you can see, I don't see my brush because I have caps lock selected. If I press caps lock again, I will see my brush. So if you don't see your brush, if it's like this, then just press caps lock and you will see it. So smudge tool actually helps us to stretch things. So here, for example, it's going to stretch our mask, and when we're going to stretch our mask, we're going to see more of the colors of this object here, because like actually what happens, we still have the colors here behind it. It's just the mask doesn't allow us to see it. So yeah, if you know how masks work, then this is going to be pretty easy for you. If you don't know how masks work, then this is like you really have to learn. This is like most of the basic things in Photoshop. Just go to my YouTube channel. I have the playlist called Photoshop from Zero to Pro, and I'm explaining there how actually mask works. Anyway, when you have smudge tool selected, go here to strength, make this around actually 40 should be fine. Make sure sample layers is selected. Also go here to brush settings, to this one, make sure you select this brush here, and also make spacing 1%. So now if I start drawing, see what happens. When I draw, you can see that we have here this kind of drops already. So the first thing I need to do right now is, and also when you draw, make sure you're drawing on the mask. So not on this object, but exactly on the mask. Make sure mask is selected. So the first thing we need right now is we need to make our brush a little bit smaller, and also go here and change the direction of the brush. So if we change this, see, it changes the direction. Now, for example, if I start coloring, it looks more realistic. And now you can just, color like this, and it's going to add this kind of effect. This is fine. Let's just continue. So you can just continue doing this stuff here like this. Just make sure you don't do it too much, otherwise it's not going to look realistic. So if you want to make it longer, you can just draw again and again on it to make it longer, like this. Almost done. Okay, looks pretty nice, right? So now when we have done this, actually, as you can see here, I have also an image behind, so we can just take any image and put it behind. I mean, you don't have to, but you can try it as well. So for example, I want to show you one more thing. Let's say we put this image here, and then we locate it behind our layer. So what we can actually do here is we can select this layer, and then we can go to normal, and here if we change the blending modes, see what's going to happen. Our like this hello text is going to look different. So lighten, screen, color dodge. Let's just continue and see, maybe we get something even more interesting. Oh, that looks actually pretty cool. Divide, yeah, that looks awesome, I would say. And that's it basically, guys, for this technique. So yes, you can see you can use it on any text, and I hope you really understood everything. If you have any questions, just message me, leave comment. I will be happy to answer, or go to my Instagram at Fres Gallery and direct message me. I'm always happy to help. So as you can see, I have like lots of different interesting tutorials that I'm sure you'll be interested in. Make sure you subscribe, and also if you want to become a Photoshop pro and like learn really advanced Photoshop techniques, then just go to learnfromfred.com. I have a free course there that you can sign up to and start learning for free. I have also a paid course that will make you a master of Photoshop and help you create tons of crazy and stunning projects. That's it, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you guys to the next lesson. Bye.